Hello everyone, this is Supersnoopy here, back with another SWTOR video. Today I have guys another SWTOR discussion video. Today's SWTOR discussion video, we're just going to be talking about the idea of buying vanity items. Now this is a topic that a lot of people tend to have, like mixed opinions and views on. So I just thought, why not just make a discussion video, just kind of like going over this and kind of giving out my opinions and thoughts on the whole matter. Because a lot of people, like I said, do have kind of like opposing views for this, and some people really dislike the idea of just someone selling vanity items. But I just have a kind of unique opinion on it. I mean, there's honestly two ways this can go for most people, but I feel like I'm just kind of like in the middle when it comes down to this. So if you guys enjoyed this SWTOR discussion video, as always, if you guys enjoyed these videos, then make sure to leave a like. And if you guys want some gaming mints, then check the link in the description down below. Catalytic gaming mints. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the discussion. Alrighty guys, so let's get into this discussion right now. So some of you might be thinking, or might possibly be wondering, what do I mean when I say, buying a vanity item? Now this mainly equates or kind of relates to like endgame content in MMOs. This can not only be, in Star Wars Republic, can also include like games like World of Warcraft, or just a bunch of different stuff. Essentially, you get a bunch of people, you pay them whether it's like in-game credits, or in which case, sometimes people actually spend real money on it. But people, pay other people to just go ahead and essentially get carried through content just to, get an end goal, or rather, an item that they really want. Now, some, it might not also just be carrying in general. Sometimes people just do this because they don't have a group to actually complete the content, so they are willing to actually, they're just actually willing to pay people to go ahead and get this completed. Now, I mean, for the most part, a lot of people are just gonna, the first thought of it is they're gonna think, oh hey, that is pretty scummy. This person clearly doesn't care about working towards the common goal of getting an item. Clearly, they're just doing this to do it. Which, I mean, I can definitely understand that. Because, I mean, from that point, it's pretty clear, like, I mean, hey, some people, they don't feel like they have the, I say they don't know what to do on certain fights. And they just want to get a cool-looking item, and they don't feel really, like, learning it. But they do have a lot of, in-game credits or, just in-game items. And they just want to go ahead and obtain it somehow. So people will just kind of, like, I say, like, kind of move to that. But I mean, like I said, a lot of people would obviously start off by saying, that's kind of ridiculous. What's even the point of that? Now, I can see it where some people are coming from with it. This is why I'm kind of in the middle, is because I can understand that, some people, they just want to get the cool looking items, which that is understandable. I mean, a lot of people just want to go ahead and get, cool and unique items found within the games that actually, have this sort of practice. And also, it is kind of helpful because of whether, it's like a guild or your own personal guild. I mean, it does help out with, I say just like the cost for just raiding and all that different stuff, because when people actually decide to like approach you and they want to get to certain items, that's useful because, I mean, the guild can get a bunch of credits to just go ahead and work on stuff. And then also, the player in question can just go ahead and get a cool looking item that they want. So in that sense, that's I say that's kind of like a plus to it. I know that, there are guilds that do that, and there's also guilds that actually, sell certain runs. I'm pretty sure, the guild I'm currently in, Tragic Heroes, actually also does that as well. So there are, some benefits to it because, I mean, it helps out one player and also helps out the guild because you get credits just to go ahead and work on different stuff. But at the same time, I feel like, just in my personal opinion, is I would never be one person that would just go ahead and just get a bunch of credits and essentially get asked or just ask people to just go ahead and put me through certain content to get an item. I always feel like it's more enjoyable and it feels like more rewarding when you're actually in a group. You're just working towards the common goal and you're just trying to actually get to that one cool item. I mean, that's kind of what I did when I got the Wings of the Architect. I mean, the first time I ran with it with a bunch of people, I didn't get it. I know that I mentioned in one of the videos that I actually recorded is that, I ran with Zooms, which is the guild leader of Tragic Heroes. I just ran it multiple times, and eventually I was able to get the wings. But I felt like, that was more enjoyable because it was, like, rewarding because I went into it, multiple times just constantly, just making some mistakes, which it did cost, me, obviously, like in the long run, because obviously, I died and stuff. But, I got to kind of like learn the boss fights and just get right into it. I felt like, that was pretty fun and cool, because that's the one thing that I do like about the whole entire idea of just the vanity items, is, when you work for them, you can just go ahead and obtain them, and that's just really cool. But I mean, like I said, I don't really frown upon people that actually do this practice. I can understand, why people actually do it and where people come from. But once again, I mean, with me personally, I just like the idea of, just kind of like working towards the items rather than just, just being upfront and paying for it. I mean, I used to have this like outlook where I was like, oh hey, people who just spend credits on the cool items, no, that defeats the whole purpose of getting it. But I mean, once again, you just gotta understand that people just do stuff for different reasons. I mean, even with just like the vanity items, I've heard some cases where I've actually like met a player that actually kind of like asked me hey, they just wanted to just go ahead and get vanity items, and then obviously I was just like trying to help point them in the right direction, because that's that's a good thing to do, because I mean, once again, there are some players that just want to get certain items, or they just want help with stuff. So occasionally, when people whisper me, I just try to like point them in the right direction. They were asking me, about buying vanity items and whatnot, and I mean, once again, with them, I thought that was absolutely fine, and I was just kind of cool with it, because I mean, once again, I just used to have this outlook where I was like, oh hey, this person doesn't want to work for their stuff. But, I mean, this person didn't actually have a guild, and they essentially, they just wanted to find a group to just go ahead and just complete the content with. So, I mean, for example, just something like that. I mean, some players might actually pay for this stuff because they can't, find a guild. They could join the guild, but, sometimes people just want to get an item, just be quick and done with it. So, I mean, once again, it's completely understandable. I mean, even if it isn't that case where, you're just going for... you just can't find a guild or something along the lines of that. Once again, totally understandable. I can, see it where, people are coming from with this, because it, benefits essentially both parties. Because, I mean, like I said, it benefits the guild, or, the amount of people that are actually helping out with it. Because, I mean, not only do they get, more credits and stuff to actually help with their, their guild, but it also helps with the player in question, because they're able to get the item that they actually want. I can understand that some people may, disagree, say, oh, hey, that completely ruins the value of actually having, this one cool item. Let me say, you have that one cool item, but it's like, oh, hey, you essentially didn't really earn it. You just got carried to do it, or, you just paid for it. So, I mean, I can understand what people, the idea of that. I can understand why people feel like that. But, I mean, once again, it's just, all, I can say it all comes down to certain people's opinions. Because, I mean, I've kind of, like, asked some people about this topic, and most people are kind of, like, 50-50. Because you have some people that are, just downright, they're like, alright, look, this is completely scummy, I don't get why people do this. And then, there's also people that are just kind of, like, neutral about it, occasionally, where they're like, oh, hey, I can see where they're coming from, or I can understand it. Guys, I think I have met my clone right here. But, in all seriousness, just, continuing with the topic, is, I mean, once again, I can understand why people feel, a certain way for, certain things. Once again, I mean, it's kind of like with anything. I mean, not even just with, just buying vanity items. Some people, will agree and disagree with, certain topics and opinions. But just with me, like I said, I can understand where people are coming from. Just with me, I wouldn't obviously, just like go ahead and just buy some vanity items. Because I feel like, it'd be more enjoyable just to go ahead and, kind of like experience it. Just trying to obtain them. Kind of like, I say, like, in a sense, like the legit way, as in, you get a group together, you just start clearing the content. You just try to do it rather than, just paying a certain amount of credits. Just, in which case, usually just to, get a bunch of players that know what they're doing. They just tell you, like, to stand somewhere, and then you just do, some things. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I feel like it's a pretty simple topic. I know that some people will disagree with me. And I mean, that's 100% A-okay. I understand that people don't, sometimes people will, kind of like disagree with a topic like this in particular, because some people don't like the idea of, someone not really working too hard to get a certain, like, a rare item that requires, certain tasks and stuff, or with a group. But, I mean, once again, all up to your opinion, all up to just what you want to do in a game, and I mean, that's just really it. I mean, that's all there really is to it. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for this Star Wars Republic discussion video. I know that this video might be, kind of like dragging on for a little too long, so I do apologize for that. But I just wanted to get my opinion across just relating to this idea of buying vanity items. So once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you guys enjoyed these videos, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.